The dead woman's refrigerator had a serial number, so did hers.
Vera Cole worked probate for the county court. The quiet department, the one that handled what people left behind when leaving became permanent. She kept a spreadsheet at home, every appliance, every device, every serial number she had ever owned, filed by purchase date. Not sentiment, not anxiety, just proof that every object in her apartment had been chosen, and acquired, and accounted for by her alone. The work had rules. The first one she had ever memorized concerned serial numbers.
A serial number in a probate inventory cannot legally appear in any active property record belonging to a living person. Any apparent match must be logged as a clerical error and escalated, never treated as coincidence. The estate that morning belonged to a woman in her late 60s, never married, no next of kin, 43 pages. The deceased's name was Catherine Ashe. Ashe, the name Vera had worn until she was 18, then signed away on a court form to stop being anyone's daughter.
She opened the estate box. She typed the first serial number into her terminal.
Then she looked at her spreadsheet. It was already there.
She logged it as a clerical error. The form auto-populated a case number. She typed the second serial before the cursor had finished blinking. Her sewing lamp, 40 watts, bought secondhand from a woman moving to Brussels, paid cash, handwritten receipt filed in an envelope, labeled Lamps, Misc.
Column C, row 19. The same 11 digits, the same lamp, or a lamp that had somehow belonged to 2 lives without anyone noticing.
She retrieved the receipt from her filing system. The act felt urgent in a way she didn't want to examine. The spreadsheet had always been proof that she had chosen. Every item purchased with intention. A small flag planted on territory she had claimed for herself. She logged a second clerical error, then a third. The form required a supervisor's signature after 3. She initialed it herself, which was not protocol. A fourth serial, her gray 2-drawer filing cabinet. A fifth, the electric kettle. She stopped after the 5th and went back to re-enter the 1st.
The National Property Registry returned 1 result, 1 unit produced, 2 active registrations, 1 to C, Ash 1 to V, Brennan.
That was not possible. The registry had structural safeguards. Every probate clerk knew this not as policy, but as the bedrock of their daily work. She refreshed the page. It loaded the same result. She refreshed again, the way a person does when they want the machine to reconsider its facts. She called the registry hotline. The hold music was something orchestral and unhurried, scored for a lobby in a quieter century. She held for 3 minutes.
Then she hung up. She was not ready to say the words aloud. Speaking them into a recorded line would make the log entry permanent.
She returned to the box. There were still items she hadn't cataloged. Method was the architecture of her days. She would finish what she started. The 11th serial matched her bathroom mirror. The 12th matched the extension cord coiled behind her radiator, the one she had been meaning to replace for 2 years. At the bottom of the box, loose in the corner, lay a Polaroid. Nothing around it, as if it had been placed there last deliberately. A woman at 18 standing in front of a door, smiling, not posed, genuinely at ease, her face open in a way that takes years to close. Vera laughed once, softly. The woman was beautiful, not a difficult beauty, an easy one, the kind that doesn't know it is being looked at yet.
Then she stopped laughing. The door behind the woman was painted the specific shade of dusty green that Vera had mixed herself from 2 cans that had never quite blended. She turned the Polaroid over. On the back, in ink faded nearly to brown, were a date and a serial number. She already knew the serial. She had logged it twice this morning as a clerical error. It belonged officially to both of them. She set the photograph face up on the desk beside the estate box, smoothed the corner once with her finger, and did not touch it again. The date on the back of the Polaroid was the date she had signed her lease. The first day the apartment was, in any legal sense, hers. She turned the photograph over twice. She read the number again. Then she opened a new tab on her computer without deciding to. The estate had been liquidated in the 3 weeks before she viewed the apartment. Contents dispersed to 7 local charity shops.
She had furnished the apartment almost entirely from charity shops. That first month, she had been proud of it. She opened her spreadsheet, 11 years of rows, 1 per item, purchase date, retailer, serial number, notes column, the same 3 words on every line. Mine, chosen, bought. She had typed it herself. She had meant it every time.
She cross-referenced the first entry against the estate inventory, then the second. Then she stopped deciding to do the next one and simply kept going. She stopped at 13. The pattern had been established by the 3rd. She had continued because stopping felt like a decision she didn't want to have made. The woman in the photo had owned all of it, had chosen it first, had painted the door too, that specific green, that specific year. Vera remembered standing in the hardware store with 2 cans that wouldn't quite blend. She remembered thinking, "This is mine. I made this."
She had cited the rule 15 times that morning. A serial number in probate cannot legally appear in any active living record. She had logged each match as error.
They were not errors. The rule existed because this was not supposed to happen. It had not prevented it. The woman whose name she shed at 18 had owned every item in that apartment before Vera did. The charity shops had been the intermediary.
13 rows in the spreadsheet, each one a match. In the notes column beside every matched serial number, her own handwriting, mine, chosen, bought. The estate had been dispersed to the 7 charity shops on the 3rd of February. Her receipts from those same shops began on the 9th of March.
The Polaroid lay face up on the desk. Vera's hand was on the keyboard. She did not close the file.